All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to talk about the absolute destruction that is happening right now over at Bioware. As we have reported in the past, Bioware Edmonton was rumored to be closing down, and all of the mainstream journalists were trying to tell you that the YouTube grifters were wrong, that the YouTubers are just lying to you, that they just want you to do rage clicks and all that, and there's no way that this studio is closing down, according to their amazing sources within the industry that would totally never lie to them, right? Well, apparently, we have come to find out that the YouTube grifters were actually right yet again, because the Edmonton studio is bleeding out dry, and now you have all of these writers that are supposedly leaving the company, or being fired, I should say, not really leaving the company. And it's not just writers, it's people of all kinds of positions, and here we are exposing it all. So let's get into this video, guys. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. Now, I have a compilation of a multitude of different people that have been let go over at Bioware that I want to showcase to you today. And a lot of these people came from the studio that worked at Dragon Age the Veilguard. And some of these tweets or blue sky posts, or whatever you want to call them, are going to make you realize, like, gee, I can only imagine why you possibly lost your job. I can only imagine why that may be, considering you can't even put together a tweet, and yet you are out here trying to claim to be a writer for a video game. So let's get into this video, guys. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. So let's start off with this person. We got Anne LeMay over on Blue Sky, because of course they're all using Blue Sky right now. And it says, I was a writer at Bioware for 5 years, from 2011 to 2016. I leaned a lot during that time from exceptional Folex in many disciplines. Again, you're a writer. You're trying to convince people that you were hired based on merit, and you totally weren't an ideological psychopath. And here you are saying you leaned a lot and you met exceptional Folex. Like, bro, you can't even spell learned, and you can't even spell folks, and you're over here trying to convince people you're a writer. Okay, obvious DEI hire. Anyway, many folks in many disciplines, but also specifically for my fellow writers and our amazing editors on both the Mass Effect and Dragon Age brands. Today, not a single one of those writers and editors remains employed there. Guys, I want you to understand something. When the mainstream journalists try to tell you that the YouTube grifters are lying to you, right? Because they want to call us grifters. They want to say that we're lying and all of this amazing stuff. It's quite frankly just to protect the old guard. That's all it is. They are desperately trying to take back control over the narrative so they can keep lying to you and selling you BS and telling you how amazing these games are. You need to run out and go buy it. And then when you buy it, you realize you got duped. Yeah, they're trying to hold on to that power, and they've lost that power. Look at this pathetic excuse for a writer. I don't even know what kind of post this is. Anyway, let's move on to the next one. We got Trick Weeks. Says, I am now looking for a new writing/narrative position. It's been a privilege to work with so many amazing developers over my 20 years at Bioware, and I will cherish the memories of the wonderful folks in the community that I've met along the way. Thank you all. You know what's crazy? This studio is exploding so bad that this person worked at Bioware for 20 years. 20 years, and they're getting rid of people who have worked for the company for 20 years. And yet you have journalists out there that are trying to convince you that everything's okay. They're out there trying to convince you that, no, Bioware's fine. Just ignore all the YouTube grifters. Yeah, they don't know what they're talking about. Everything's fine. Then we got Carrie over here. And again, all of it's on Blue Sky. Bioware didn't officially put out that they laid off employees, which honestly is sad. I understand not wanting bad reputation and such. It's just dishonest to me. I found out from seeing staff posts that they are gone after many years of working there. Well, also, okay, let's talk about that. So Bioware put out a recent post that basically said that they're maneuvering people away from the Dragon Age the Veilguard team and making them go into other sections of EA and filling roles. But if you looked at the terminology and you looked at the wording that they used, I think it was pretty easy to deduce that they were firing a lot of people. But they try to make it seem as if everybody's going to have a happy ending. But that's just impossible. There's no way they're going to have room for all these people that were working at Dragon Age the Veilguard. It is literally impossible. So now we've said that, hey, it looks like they're firing a bunch of people and the studio is actually closing down after all. And then again, all the urinals came out and said the YouTube grifters are lying to you. Well, guess what? Who was really lying to you? It was them. Because now you have all of these posts, and it's just 3 out of many that I have. We're going to keep going over it. But you have all these posts of people saying that they've lost their jobs, they've been laid off, fired, whatever the case may be. This is the truth, ladies and gentlemen. They tried to hide it from you. Bioware tried to hide it from us, but there's no way in hell that they're going to be able to do that. So we got another one. Karen West Weeks. I wonder if there a relation between Weeks? What is this? Trick Weeks and Karen Weeks? I wonder if there's a relation. Karen West Weeks, hello. I am looking for work, ideally in an editor role. It's been an honor to work with so many talented professionals and a pleasure to meet so many amazing community members. In my 19 years at Bioware, I'm so grateful to all of you. This is what ideology gets you, boys and girls. You guys wanted to double down. You guys wanted to make your entire identity your ideology. And this is what happens. You alienated the entire fan base that was willing to support a Dragon Age Dreadwolf game. And you turned it into Dragon Age the Veil Guard, the Gay Guard, whatever you want to call it. You turned it into that. And you made it something that's not even remotely believable. The problem is that you didn't even bother writing a character that happened to be gay that was actually an interesting character. You didn't even bother doing that. You wrote insufferable, annoying characters that once you got like involved with them and you started speaking with them, you felt like you were a therapist. That's how I felt when I was playing Dragon Age the Belguard and reviewing it from my my stream, Griffcast, every day 5 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday. But you guys made it feel like I was a therapist. You really did. And it was terrible. It was boring. And on top of that, too, you got preached to. You got literally lambasted if you even came close to misgendering Tosh or anybody else for that matter. You have NPCs talking about how they're non-binary as you're walking around the town. You got a blacksmith saying that. It's so ridiculous, man. So we got another one here. We got Ryan Cormier, another Blue Sky account, says, so for my time at Bioware has ended. It was a wild ride with some fantastic people, but it's time to look for new challenges. I'm an editor and writer with 26 years of experience across video games, novels, short stories, newspapers, and marketing comms. If you know of a good fit, please let me know. I got to tell you guys, man, I think Dragon Age the Veilguard is going to go down in history as the biggest failure in a studio ever. And I know there's Concord out there, but hear me out. Hear me out. With Firewalk Studios, it was an unknown studio. Nobody really knows them. Nobody really cares, right? If they live, die, nobody cares. Bioware has a long history of established not only people who work there, like people who are well known within the industry and what they've done in the past, but established video games that a ton of people love over the last couple of decades, right? So Bioware is known for a lot of things. And to see this company give up on their fan base and try to chase the modern audience and watching this implosion happen before our eyes live, I mean, this is impactful. This is huge. This is honestly the biggest implosion that I've seen of a well-known studio in a long time. Then we got another one, Brianna Bat, that says, oh, what's happening with me? I'm very lucky and grateful to have landed at Motive with a wonderful team and an exciting project. But I'm also heartbroken for those who were let go from Bioware today, many of whom I worked with closely for many years. Then you got this one, Ben Galinas says, I have no words except that Bioware, and especially the phenoms I worked with there, are forever lodged in my heart, and I'm anxiously wringing my hands right now. Ben says, to be clear, I haven't been at Bioware for a while. My last work for them was jumping in for a little over a year to help with Veilguard's non-voiceovers. So, again, ladies and gentlemen, this is where we're at. Bioware Edmonton studio is in fact imploding. The gaming journalists had tried to tell you that that was not true. They were lying to you. Shocker, I know, but they were lying to you. And we are here now where this studio is imploding because they chose to abandon their fan base and chase identity politics. And they have only themselves to blame. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.